In the heart of our historic city lies the Assembly House, renovated and built by Sir Thomas Ivory in 1754 and opened a year later as a place for entertainment. But what is the history of the buildings on this site, and how is it connected to Chapelfield Gardens? For that, we have to go back 750 years in the reign of King Henry III, and a man called John Le Brun founded a hospital on this site which he dedicated to the memory of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And this wonderful plan here indicates to us exactly where it was. The property was purchased by Sir Thomas Cornwallis. He'd been the High Sheriff of Norfolk and a former Member of Parliament. And he converted the remains of the Chapel of the Field House into a grand townhouse. Throughout all that time, the building, the demolition, the remodelling of this property, one area has remained the same. Here, in the crypts, the vaults. Not normally open to the public, it's kept as a cellar. But today we can take a little peek around. This fine building hosted many grand events and dignitaries. In 1805, there was a grand ball to celebrate Nelson's glorious victory off Cape Trafalgar. In 1825, a Frenchwoman by the name of Madame Tussaud arrived in Norwich for the second time with her selection of waxworks. And in 1840, the renowned Hungarian composer, then at the height of his concert pianist prowess, Mr. Franz Liszt, played a concert here, right in the music room. But what of the 20th century Assembly House? Well, in the 1930s it was in a bad way and was faced with demolition, but was saved by the Norwich Society, who managed to persuade English Heritage to list the building, and by so doing preserved what is one of the most glorious examples of Georgian Assembly Rooms architecture. During the Second World War, bombs fell during the Blitz of 1942 on many surrounding buildings, but although 9 incendiary bombs fell on the Assembly House, the team here extinguished them and the building was only scarred. April 1995, and a fierce fire engulfed the building, destroying the music room, the restaurant and the Grand Hall. The Assembly House reopened on February the 14th, 1997, Valentine's Day. A fitting day, really, as the building has always had a special place in the hearts of the people of Norfolk. So as the management here look ahead to 2014, we can reflect on the diverse menu of history of this extraordinary Georgian building.